Hey, this is Gabe, and I'm back with my next video on the Cage series. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a 5-1 in both major and minor keys, but we're going to do it in all 5 positions up the entire neck. All right, so just like in the other videos I've been doing, I'm going to do this in the key of C. So I'm going to do a 5-1. So that means I'm going to play a G7 to a C major 7. So if you're unfamiliar with any of the shapes I'm about to show you, there should be a link up in the top over here, which will help you. It'll get you to a playlist, which will give you all 5 of the positions, every type of chord that I'm showing you, all 5, C, A, G, E, and D. 7s, major 7s, minor 7s, half diminished, everything you need to know. So if you need to, go check out that stuff and then maybe come back and you'll be able to do this. Okay, let me continue. So I'm gonna do a G7, open, and then C major 7, open. And again, there's 2 ways to do the C major 7. You can do it where you like take your first finger off the C and play it like this. Or you can do it where the 7 is underneath your pinky on string 3. Okay, so that position again would be this. Or, all right, if I move forward, so we just did a G-shaped G7, so that means I go to E-shaped G7. The C was C-shaped. I am spelling the word cage, so I do the A-shaped next. So here's the E-shaped G and the A-shaped C. So here's the first 2. If I keep moving, so we just did an E-shaped G. That means take my octave, gets me my D string root. Here's my D7 shaped G7. In my C, it was A-shaped, so it becomes the G-shaped. Again, if you haven't seen them, the G-shapes are usually 4 strings just because it's kind of tough to grab all of this. The stretch is tough. But for now, you can just do the top 4. Okay, so for that one, here's the G7 and D-shaped. And here's the G-shaped C major 7. If you notice, my pinky gets to stay. All right, so here's the first 3 positions. So we got G7 shaped, G7, C shaped C, E shaped G, A shaped C, then the D shaped G7 to the G shaped C major 7. All right, if we continue, so I just did the G as a D shape. That means I do the C7 shaped next. I'm on G, I'm at fret 10. I'm doing a C7 shaped chord with the G as the bass. My C major 7, it was G shaped. That means it becomes E shaped. So those 2 spots, here's the C shaped G7. Here's the E shaped C major 7. All right, here's all 4 of those. So right, so the last one, we just did a C-shaped G. That means I do an A-shaped G. So A7 shaped G7. Again, I'm still touching the G, fret 10, string 5. And then the C, it's right below me. We just did an E-shaped. That means I go to my D-shaped. And I have D major 7 shaped, but I have C as the bass, so this is C major 7. So again, this spot, fret 10, G7, but A-shaped. C major 7, but D-shaped. And then, as I always say, it begins again. So I just did the entire thing. So that means after I did the A-shaped G, I'm back to the G-shaped G. Again, if I'm up at the top, it's tough to grab these. So I'm just going to do the top 4. And then you get your C-shaped. And it's right there. Or you could, again, move into this one. Okay, so let me show all 5. So open. Okay, I hope you follow that. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to do the minor. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to do a G7, but then I'm going to move to a C minor 7. It's the exact same thing. So instead of going G7 to C major, I'm just going to go to C minor 7. So here it is. So G7, C minor minor shaped C minor 7. Again, it's a mouthful. I'm just telling you this is what the chord looks like. Okay, so here's this again. So if I move, again, the G is in the same place. But then I just modify. Instead of major 7, I'm going to go minor 7. So here's the first two. So the next one, D-shaped G7. The C, it was A-shaped. It's now going to become the G minor shaped. So here's that again. Here's the first three. Right, I'm gonna keep moving. So I just did a D-shaped G. That means I'm back to the C7 shaped G. And then the C was G-shaped. That means it's E-shaped. Again, this is this one. You could do this. I'll talk about this in a second. Okay, so for now, just think this. Right? If I show you the first four positions. Right, I just did the C-shaped G, so that means I'm up to the A7 shaped G7. The C was E-shaped, that means it's now D minor 7 shaped. So here's that. And then it begins again. So again, the G7 and then the C minor 7 again. So here's all 5, and I'm going to do the octave up at the top. Okay, so you can see how I'm kind of connecting all the positions up the neck, and I'm doing it in major, minor. This works no matter where you are. So in any key, this kind of thing will work. So if you're like in the key of A and you need to go 5-1 and you say, here's an E, so I would do E7, I would do a C-shaped. My A major 7's right here, okay? But I could go E and do the A with another shape, all right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna demo for you. I'm gonna just show you a 5-1 and show you that I can just use the neck in any way that I want to. Okay, so here's just a 5-1 in C. I'm just gonna do the G7 to C, but I'm just gonna play, right? So I'm just gonna start here. So I hope you get the idea, right? I'm just kind of playing, just mixing them up, right? I'm not even sure what I just played, okay? So like, I just want to be familiar with any of the shapes, and no matter where I'm looking at the neck, like I'm always around one of the 5 shapes. So that's how you can kind of interchange them, like wherever you are, okay? All right, I'm gonna show you a cool little bass line thing on a couple of the spots that I think is interesting. So let me kick down against my hands. So here's a little extension for some of you, maybe more advanced students, is I want to show you like some cool bassline things that you can do if you keep your hand like in one place on a few of the spots. So when you do, for example, like the E-shaped G to the A-shaped C, which is probably the most common, is if you do it kind of finger style or you do it the bar style, then I can add a bass line. If I keep the 5th of the chord, which I usually tell you like kind of avoid it if I'm strumming it, but if I know I'm gonna do this, then I'm just gonna hold it and then select on my right hand which strings I'm gonna play. So I might do with the pick, I might hybrid pick it, I might finger pick it completely. Right, it's kind of up to you, sort of like technique-wise, what you're doing. But that way, then I can move and do the same thing on the C. So if I want to do a bass line, a root to fifth, I can do the fifth of the C right underneath, or even above, because I'm holding the same note above. Okay, so like if I do a 5-1 right here, if I don't hold it like this, like I can't really do that 5 without moving back in place, so I'm just gonna hold it like this. All right, and then the other spot where this kind of works nicely is if you do the C-shaped G, and then you could do the E-shaped, but again, I might modify it and put the fifth of the chord back in. This shape isn't that comfortable, but if you're gonna play this kind of style, you gotta set it up this way. So if I show you that again, you can also do this on the next one over, and so you do the A-shaped G, and then the C, because it's D-shaped, you can then do the bass note right underneath. Right, so like right there. So if I just show those 3 spots. Right, so you can hear like when you add the bass line, it just adds like so much more sort of depth to what you're playing, so you're not just like strumming it. Right, you get this separation. All right, I hope you get the idea of how to connect your 5-1s. Keep in mind, this works in any key. I've been showing all this stuff in the key of C. Start to work your way up in any other key, right? Just try a second key, like whatever it is, okay? So if you want to get ahead of me, what I'm going to do in the next series of lessons is I'm going to do 2 5-1s, so we're really going to connect everything together, all right? So to prepare yourself, if let's say we're doing the key of C, that means D minor 7, G7, and then C major 7. Again, that's 5 unique places to play that 3-chord progression, all right? I've been enjoying doing these for you. I hope you've been enjoying doing them with me. If you have, leave me a comment. Tell me you want to see some other thing that I should video for you. I'm happy to do it, all right? If you like this and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked this specific video, hit the button, promo, that kind of thing, all right? I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next lesson. All right.